What's happening? How's everyone doing? Let me put a little music on. What's up, everybody? Mike, Cody, Will Options, Carpe Diem, Hector, Zajelko. What's up, Spaniardo? Apeng Rayhan, Steve, Jason. Let me know if the volume's all good with the music and my mic. We'll give people a little time to get in here. What's up, Annie? Good to see ya. And then once we have people, then we'll get started. Yo, Crypto Hermit, Hector, Steve, Garrett, Sergio. Okay. No echo for you guys. What's up, Sun Juice? Okay, so we got like 50 something people in here. What did I do? Oh, you guys see this? Was that pretty funny? I don't know what made me think of that, but I thought it was funny. You had 2 tabs open for the stream? Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking we hang out, talk about the overall market. Shardy dumped on us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess she was looking for a 5x overnight or something. I mean, this still looks fine. The structure of this is completely fine. I'd probably look for a bounce somewhere in this purple region. But if you're trading in and out of Apex, like, I don't think that's the best way to do it. Because obviously you're paying that 9% both ways. So, yeah, I'm not sure why. But we're fine. We got stuff coming. Well, they do. We will definitely talk about AVAX. Just giving people a couple more minutes to get in here. I've got some NFT projects that I'm kind of looking at. That haven't been minted yet. I know sometimes I've like tweeted about some and then people have gotten mad that they're like sold out already. So I think on streams I'm going to talk about some stuff. Because I'm fine with hooking you guys up. But I probably won't talk about a ton on Twitter. Because, well, until after. Because I want to be able to mint some too. And whenever well, not whenever. It doesn't happen all the time. But sometimes when I tweet about something and it's like super hyped up and then I try and mint something, like I don't get any. Don't forget to shill Soulgen. We'll talk about Soulgen. It won't really be a shill. I'm not gonna shill stuff to you guys. I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion on things, because that's how we do it here. So like, I do have SoulGen up, and I actually have an idea for this, but we'll talk about that later when we talk about some NFTs. But I figure the majority of people here want to talk TA. They want to talk Bitcoin and other trade setups and stuff. And then for those that are down to like hang out for longer, then we can talk about some of the other NFTs and things like that, and whatever else we want to talk about. What's up, Trader Yuba or Juba? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Yeah, equities don't look great, but I mean, this could bounce at any point. Like, if it's gonna keep up with this trend, this higher low, grind, higher low, grind, higher low, grind, higher low, grind, could be something like that. Should I leave that up there? I'll leave this. We'll check it out later. Why do I use Fibonacci in a range? I'm just drawing a range with that. My watch list, it's mostly like high volume pairs and then a few other things. Like, I think to get a decent watch list, if you day trade or swing trade, whatever, just like go to FTX or Binance, like an exchange with a ton of coins, and then sort by volume, and then like you probably want to be trading any of the top like 30-40 volume coins. Not be trading that much. A lot of these I haven't touched in a long time. They're just on here. And then I'll usually tag stuff that I'm like trying to keep an eye on. But it's interesting because today we're seeing AVAX, Luna, Sol, Phantom, all these L1s are down a little bit today. And then we have DeFi coins like Aave, Comp, Sushi. I'm trying to think. Alpha is one of them, 10%. I think Curve is 13%. They're up today. So, JUBA. So I'm keeping an eye on that. We could be seeing a little bit of capital rotation there, at least for the near term. So I mean, we can look for some continuation plays on that. We'll give Alpha, Comp, Sushi. That's a good list there. Elrond is having a good day though. Haha, we nailed it. This is why I need to set more alerts though. Elrond is having a good day, and they are an L1, I believe, so that's a little against the trend of how the other ones are looking today. They don't look bad. They've just been on a tear, and so they're cooling off a little, and I think a little bit of it might have to do with the Fed talking about stuff today. But we'll get into some of that. All right, over 100 people here, so we'll get started. We're 100 subscribers away from 6,000, which is kind of cool. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do that. And then quick shout out to the sponsors, Zort and Bybit. Bybit is my preferred derivatives trading platform for altcoins that they don't have. I trade on FTX, but I prefer Bybit for Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. I'm also talking to them about getting AVAX added to Bybit, so that could be cool. All right. So if you guys remember, what day is it today? Tuesday? So literally a week ago, I think this dump day was Tuesday, right? Today's the 14th, the 7th, yes. A week ago, I was like, and you could go back and watch this. I'm not going to pull it up right now because no one wants to watch it right now. But if you don't believe what I'm about to tell you, you can go back and check for yourself. After we got this huge dump, I was like, all right, after periods of volatility like this, we're probably just going to range, and we want to see Bitcoin form a range. Said I wouldn't be surprised if we bleed back down to the low, and that's pretty much all that's happened in an entire week. For people trading the range, like, you could make some money in here, but overall, like, for most traders, today is not Thursday. No, it's Tuesday. I was like, wait a second. But for most traders, I said, after this volatility, don't jump back in, try and revenge trade. You probably just want to sit out and let the market play out, get a little more data, see what the market gives, and just, like, if you lost money, don't try and rush back in immediately, because you could just end up getting chopped up and losing more money. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think the move was to relax throughout this range, not focus on Bitcoin too much. And as you guys know, I was focusing on some other coins like AVAX, like Luna, like Serum for a while, because these all had their dumps, and then they put in some huge moves. A ton of altcoins did. So that's where most of my focus has been. So with Bitcoin, I guess the question is, what am I looking for now? I'm not super interested in trading this still. Like, I don't want to get chopped up around the mid-range or chopped like, if you want to trade the range, look for shorts at the range high, longs at the range low, and other than that, I would say focus on some other assets. However, if this does consolidate a bit more and then we get a breakout above the range high, then I would look for a move up to 49K and maybe 50.5. I do still think it kind of makes sense for Bitcoin, whether this was the top or not. I think it makes sense for Bitcoin to put in a lower high. We have this. I think this is a daily breaker, but whatever it is, it's right between our two SR levels, so it doesn't really matter. It's already an area. It's already an area that we're watching. I just turned the mic up a little. I just realized the mic sensitivity was, like, way down. Shill DYDX. Bro, I'm still mad that like, I was looking into DYDX a bunch, and I'm still mad I never like, took the leap to go trade there. Looks kind of good though. Some nice equal highs. Probably get something like this. Bang. There you go. I hope your TP is like 13, Smokey, because that's where it's headed. But yeah, back to Bitcoin. Even if this is the top, which I'm not entirely convinced of, it could be, but I'm not gonna say right now, like, oh, I think this is the top. But if it is, I still think we would get something like this before coming back down. So that is partially what leads me to have my bullish bias right now. However, I wasn't interested in longing yesterday because this was some of the ugliest PA we've ever seen. But it only makes sense that we had this crazy whipsaw and then just, like, slowly grind it up since then, because that's just how it goes. But yeah, I guess, like, if gun to my head, I think we go up to 49K before going back to, like, 43. But I'm just not really interested in longing here. And I think you could look for a low time frame setup if we flip 47.3-ish, targeting 49. But Bitcoin is lower on my priority list than other coins. But, you know, we still got to talk about Bitcoin at the beginning of every stream because Bitcoin's kind of king. Let's talk about ETH BTC before we get into Ethereum itself. Overall, this looks good. I think it might have been last stream or the stream before where we drew something like this, wanting to see a retest of 0.07. We got that, and now I guess I'm kind of expecting another leg up for ETH BTC. So I would say I'm more bullish than bearish on ETH BTC, and I think 0.085 is kind of the next target. We were kind of trading like in this range. Oops. What is that? Wow, my eyes are deceiving me. Like this was our range for a little bit, and now we're back within it. So I feel like these levels are significant. We still haven't taken out that high or this high. So there's like obvious liquidity up there. And this mid-range has acted as a pretty nice pivot with the rejection here, and support here. So even without all that history, just looking at this, it's a pretty nice SR flip, right? Consolidate, dip down, rip up, retest, go. So I do lean bullish on ETH BTC. So if Bitcoin does go up, I lean towards Ethereum outperforming in the near term. I guess whatever happens after 0.085 is anyone's game. But for now, I would expect something like this. It's not going to go exactly like that. It could consolidate here for longer and then just like grind up slowly. But you get what I'm trying to say. Overall bias for ETH BTC is bullish here. And there really, in my opinion, is no reason not to be. Like if we're looking at the daily market structure, just keeps chugging along, going up. You could probably draw some channel right here if you want to. And for me to be bearish on this, we would need to break down here, do something like that. Like lose this low, not be able to get above the mid-range, this orange pivot, which you can see support held right there. And I mean, this whole range in general has just been like where we see some consolidation, where there's kind of like an equilibrium, I guess you could say. I don't even know the right words to use sometimes, but this is what would make me flip my bias and be more bullish on. Should unplug my mouse, had to charge it. More bullish on Bitcoin than Ethereum, or less bearish if we end up rolling over. But I wanted to talk about that briefly because I think having our context laid out is important. Now we'll move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum looks better to me. We talked about this on Tuesday, the higher time frame picture. Here we have this consolidation that held, but Bitcoin looks a little ugly because that consolidation is like this whole region, and it's like I'm not sure if we're in that consolidation or if we're just looking at this area, if we're below it. So overall, Ethereum does look a bit better to me, and I'm more inclined to be taking Ethereum longs because I would rather have exposure to that if the market does start going up. I'm going to clear some of this because it's looking kind of messy. But, okay, here we go. So really important SR right here at like 33.45. We've kind of chopped around it a little bit, but if we zoom in, it's still getting a good amount of respect on the lower time frame. So obvious support right here. It dipped below, got back above quick. Once it broke, obvious resistance here. And then this is kind of what I'm talking about, chopping around it a little bit. But you can kind of tell the general region got defended there, and we got a pump from it. Dump down, resistance, 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 and now it kind of looks to me like we're breaking above it. I wouldn't say it's enough for me to want to long it right here, but if we hold above that, I think we see some upside sooner than later, and if we break back below, then I kind of think it just chops a little bit. But I do think that this is an obvious target, 3,577. So if support does hold, we'll see what we have there. But once again, things look a little bit ugly. We're close to Monday's high, so maybe we'll see if we can flip that, and also keep an eye out if we sweep it, because that wouldn't be ideal. But good to have Monday's range on there. You guys know I'm a big fan of Monday's range. Let me see how it looks on here. Yeah, once again, pretty close to it. I'll mark it just because. Almost tagged it. You know what? I'm going to clear that just to clean some things up. Yeah, I like that high better. All right. Bitcoin chart looks a little cleaner. Okay, so we'll see what happens with Ethereum. If you are long, I'd be cautious around this level just to see if it sweeps it. But if we get above, you could take a long from 34.40 to around 35.70. And if we look at it this way, if I draw a little, like after some of this initial chop played out, you could see this level was pretty obvious support and then turned into pretty obvious resistance here. So a flip of that level right at Monday's high, I would be interested in a long up to 3,577. All right. Welcome to the people that tuned in while we've been doing some of the analysis. Guys, are we close to 6,000 subs? What are we at? 5,910. All right, we're getting there. We need 90 more. Maybe it can happen this stream. We'll see what happens. So FTT, you guys know I've been super bullish on this. Really would have loved a leverage long around 54. Not sure if we're going to get it, but if the market does turn down again, I'm absolutely interested at that level. I think it's one of the clearest levels on the chart. If we're looking at the daily, like that's where all the consolidation was. We had that Binance seller, maybe CZ, just selling up here every single time, and then whoever was accumulating right here is very happy, and I'm sure they're going to want to protect their entry. So if this does pull back more, I think that is a no-brainer long. So we'll see what happens with that. But right now, not a ton to update. Like, I mean, we might just hold this higher time frame market structure. It looks a little choppy on lower time frames, but we had this consolidation, right? Run up, consolidate, run up, and now it's retesting this second consolidation. So we could just push from there. I don't really know. I'm still in my spot. I haven't really changed that position, but it's not really giving me enough yet for a leveraged position. So still on the watch list, still keeping an eye on it, but we'll see what happens. Guys, I know there's a bunch of chart requests in the chat, but I'll get to, like, I'm going through a lot of coins, so, and not reading the chat a ton yet, because this is kind of the analysis time. We'll have a Q&A portion later, just in case you think I'm not reading your messages. So AVAX, I was really hoping we would hold above 60 because that was the previous all-time high. It didn't, and that's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Still very bullish, but it tells me we're kind of still in this ranging environment. Here's our move outside the range low, outside the range high. I would like to see the mid-range hold right here. If it does, I like our chances to go back to 60 relatively soon. And if it doesn't hold, then I think we'll make another trip down here and then keep playing this range. I mean, we're getting nice swings in here. The lower half of our range was giving us 25% moves. The entire range itself is 45%. So, like, if it keeps trading in this range, like, it's good volatility. It's not going to be the end of the world. So would like to see that hold. We'll see what happens. I think this was our fake out above all-time highs, and the next time that we get around there, I think we blast off. There's the rush rewards, I think it's called, are coming. which I think is going to be an enormous bullish catalyst for AVAX. There's like going to be 500 mil in incentives or something like that, and I know Aave and Curve are coming over, so a lot of bullish things coming up for AVAX. Definitely bull bias there. Have plenty of spot and exposure to some AVAX, some coins on AVAX's network, as you guys know. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah, not a ton to say about AVAX, I guess, other than, well, I guess not a ton more to say. If we put on Monday's range, we could, I guess one setup you could keep an eye out for if this takes another leg down would be taking out Monday's low, reclaiming this mid-range, and looking for a long up from orange to 60, which would be a nice 20% move. So I think that's a good setup to keep an eye out for on AVAX. But overall, very bullish. Luna, also very bullish on Luna. Kind of in a similar spot, I guess, depending on how you draw this range, it could look a little differently. If I draw it like this, hold on, let's turn the magnet on. If I draw it like this, it kind of looks like we're back inside the range, and that would make me lean towards a move to like 32. But if we're using this high right here, which, yeah, I'm not really sure which one's cleaner. They both were. I guess the mid-range here is really clean, so I'm kind of leaning towards this one, even though, like, I want to be more bullish on Luna, so that's kind of a bummer. But this mid-range, I would say, is very clean. Consolidate here, support all through there, support here, resistance, consolidate below, break above, consolidate, and then rip. So I would say kind of a similar plan on Luna. Bullish overall, not quite as much as AVAX. Like, that's one of my highest conviction bullish thesi, however you say it right now. But if, along with the rest of the market, this does come down for another leg, I think you're looking for something similar as on AVAX. So have those two next to each other in the watch list. Gonna keep an eye on both of them simultaneously or back and forth, and we'll just continue to watch those. Let's see if AVAX, if a little bit of buying can come in here, put in a low time frame, higher low, and get back above Monday's mid-range. If it does that, I honestly think we could go for some lower time frame longs. This kind of looks like an obvious trend line spot, something like that. So break out above that and the mid-range, then it gets us above this little resistance right here. I know this is kind of starting to get messy, but something like this, I think we could look for a low time frame long, stop like right here, targeting up there, which to me looks like about a 2.5R, just eyeballing it. Stop could actually be, oh, right there, a little less, 2.1. We'll see what happens though. Maybe that'll play out a little bit for us on stream. Serum is bleeding a little bit, but from a high time frame perspective, like, this is the level that we want to see it hold, right? Lose this and I won't be happy. But as long as we can hold this $10, $10, I know it's like a fat range or region, but ideally, like, that's what where we hold. A lot of these coins kind of swept the highs of all-time highs, which is kind of a bummer. Now the whole market's pulling back. Let's see if this support holds and we push, or what happens. But if we break down and like get below that, I'll probably look to trim off some of the spot. Maybe it just wants to come down for one of these lows and then reverse. But from the daily picture, like our daily consolidation is like right here. So I'm going to give it some time, see what happens. But I mean, it's never going to be the prettiest thing when a coin is down 10% on the day, but I don't think it's reason to panic at all. Ray, we were looking for it to flip that level and it kind of got rejected by it. Luckily I wasn't paying as close of attention to that. I don't think it gets down here. Like that would be a bit absurd. It's still like a 50% drop or something. Well, give or take. But we drew that plan out when we were like here. So I don't really expect that, but I mean, if it gets to $8, I feel like that's kind of the most obvious support on the chart. So we'll see. FTM. If it comes down to retest all-time highs, like I think that could be a possible long. I'm not as bullish on Phantom from a fundamental perspective as AVAX, but all these L1s that have been running are getting their pullback right now. So gonna kind of have to pay some attention. Sol, I mean, it looks the same. What does this look the same as? Serum. See that? At least this type of consolidation. So like I'm not jumping into this yet, but I do think this could provide a nice buying opportunity. I mean, we have some obvious lows right here, or this one right here. It's just kind of tricky. Like this consolidation, this, whatever you want to call that, BTC 6K floor meme. It's just a little tricky to trade. But I will say, we are on support. So, like this is the support on this chart for now. I mean, if we zoom in, it's abundantly clear. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Support held 3 times there, support held here. So, maybe this takes out this low, stops out people who got long yesterday, or whatever day that was, the 13th. Yeah, yesterday. And then run it back like that. That could be something to watch from a lower time frame perspective, but still kind of just observing. What up, Wrecked Proof? You buy when I text you the signal. Wreck Proof is a beast. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter. He did a Deegan account, $500 to like over 200K. I have a message of me trying to give him my $500 as well as his, so it'd be like a 1K challenge, but it'd be half mine. So I was really hoping he was going to accept that, but he didn't, and now I've just watched his account, his challenge account, run up to over 200,000, and I was like, man, that was supposed to be my money. What's up, Cody? All right, and then I guess the last few that we want to still talk about from a TA perspective are some of these DeFi coins. Please review Pube Finance. I'm pretty sure Wrecked Proof just pumped the viewers of this stream to like 270 people. So shout out to Wrecked Proof. Shout out to everyone joining from his most recent Telegram message. All right, so the last main TA part before we talk about some NFTs is some DeFi stuff. There is that Fed meeting or whatever today. And so I think a lot of people are worried the impact that would have on some like Bitcoin, Ethereum, other coins like that. And so I think that's why a lot of the DeFi coins are pumping, but it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that, because if they continue to pump, we're going to want to ride the hot hand and talk about those. We've already talked about AVAT. We've talked about everything in this list on the right. I've just been going straight down. Man, now all of RectProof's people are here and I can't keep up with the chat. Okay, so talking about DeFi, like if we zoom out, Aave, plenty of upside to go from a high time frame perspective. If we flip this mid range, we're longing it from $430 to $600. So still plenty of opportunity here. We just got to see if this is just a lower high and then we come back down, or if this is a legit breakout. This is the clear consolidation. So any retest of that is going to be a no-brainer buy for me. I bet we have like a 3-day or 2-day demand down there. I guess it would be this at like 340. I bet that's where RectProof is going to buy if you guys are here from RectProof's group. But in the coming days, the rest of this week, I'm going to be looking to either play the strength of DeFi if they just start flipping resistances. Like if Aave does something like that, I'm just going to look to get on board and start riding it. Or we'll look to see a pullback and just see where it goes from there. Alpha also up 10%, but this one hasn't quite broken out of its initial consolidation from the Litecoin dump. Or wait, no, that wasn't the Litecoin dump. Litecoin dump was right here. Also, that was hilarious. Like, how do you mess that up? And also, that intern who works for Litecoin and manages their Twitter account, Obvious Stops, one of my friends, tweeted about it and was like, can you imagine what was going through that kid's head? He sees Walmart tweet it and he's like, what the heck? How did I miss this news? This is huge news. And then just tweets it from the official Litecoin account. And then that ends up getting, like, not being real. So that was pretty funny. But anyway, let's see what we're working with. I like the initial high after we have a big dump. I like to form a range with the initial high and then low, and I wish I was watching this earlier because this is one of the most clean ranges. Had a deviation to the upside, pretty solid interaction with the mid-range, chopped around a little bit there, but then this move took out that low, straight to range high rejected immediately. So we could be looking for something around here. If it gets back up to the range high, that's going to be like the 5th test, so we'd be looking for that to flip. And then I think you could long this guy targeting right here and about right there. So Alpha, some good setups there to keep an eye on. Because I mean, guys, if we are starting to see some rotation into DeFi from these L1s, then it's definitely going to be something that you want to keep an eye on, because if you can get on that trend early, you'll probably make some really good money. So comp as well, really nice move. We're going to take the exact same process. I guess we can see if this one, all right, range high tagged. Here's our deviation below the low, reclaim it, and it just ripped. So pretty much the same exact plan for Alpha. Either look for a retrace, or if this just breaks out and consolidates up here, we can look for continuation longs like that. And then lastly, Sushi. This one, I would say Aave looks the strongest. If I had to rank these in strength, I would say Aave, Sushi, Comp, Alpha. Same process. The initial high after the dump, the low after that, and like look how, man, it's kind of annoying because I wish I was looking at these DeFi coins earlier. High time frame range here. We're holding above the mid range. I'm just gonna delete that though because it keeps things messy. But zooming in once again, really clear range. High, low, did it again. Resistance at the mid range here. Flipped it, consolidate, rip. So if we do get a pullback, I would say Aave and Sushi are the best bets. Looking for them around this $11.80 to $12 region, something like this. And then with this one, I would pretty much say anywhere in this region for a pullback. Otherwise, we're looking for continuation plays. All right. Does that make sense, everyone? I saw a couple people wanted to see AVAX again. Some of the people who recently joined. So I will briefly run through that. I don't know why my chart's not loading. There we go. So we were talking about a possible low time frame long we could take on the stream if we break out of this. I wonder if we have some. Oops. If we break out of this above Monday's mid-range, just targeting the high at around 59.60. Otherwise, my plan for AVAX as well as Luna, they're both pretty similar, is see if we go raid Monday's low and then try and position ourselves long from there for the rest of the week. So, similar ideas there. Let's see if these guys are doing anything, not too much. Once again, we want to see Ethereum hold this 33.45. And then this gray level has been nice SR, so this would be the continuation play on Ethereum if we get it. All right. Let's go. We just broke 6,000 subs on the stream. Shout out to RectProof. And shout out to all you guys. Oh yeah, Dot is the one that I kind of forgot. I'm pretty sure we talked about this setup on stream. So, to anyone who watches Kicking It with Kaz, this was the setup we talked about on Tuesday of last week, 1 week ago today. And Dot sure has shown some strength. So, not too bad. The reasoning behind it was just this gray level has kind of been one of the more important SR levels on the entire chart. Support all through here. That's where we stalled after this huge dump, and then resistance there, consolidated here. Nice impulsive move above to signal the breakout from this consolidation, retest, and go. And now I'd probably be looking for this to pull back soon because we're coming into this daily supply, which is the origin of this whole breakdown. So I probably wouldn't FOMO into Dot here. I bet we have some nasty, well, there's probably some divs on different time frames. Like, I'm not at a point where I would want to fade this, but definitely we'll be keeping an eye on it now that it's at resistance to see if we get a possible retrace to look for some continuation longs. If we chuck Monday's range on here, you can see we just took out Monday's high. Monday's low is pretty far away, but might just come down to the mid-range or something like that. But yeah, this is, if you're in a Dot long, I would probably take some profit around here after seeing this right into high time frame resistance. But I still think Like, I think it'll be a buy the dip opportunity. I'm bullish high time frame on DOT as long as we're above this level, above this gray level. All right, I will do a couple chart requests, but the reason I don't do a ton of them is because if it's not something that I'm like trading, we've talked about Serum already. I'll look through the chart requests to see, but if it's not something I'm like actively trading or watching, I don't think my opinion's gonna help you that much. All right, let me just check something here. Oh man, there's a lot of chart requests. Don't you guys just want to chill and talk about NFTs? No, just me? All right. We're seeing a little bit of buyback here. So I will do 3 chart requests. I will do Atom, Algo. Guys, a lot of these we've talked about. You'll just have to like rewind in the stream. Everything that you see that's flagged right here up until alpha, we talked about. I'll look at Link, Atom, and Algo. All right. Link, pretty similar. Once again, I'm just drawing this same thing because it works. I think this other black line is our high time frame level. Yeah, big SR level right there. I'm going to delete it because it's not super relevant right now. But big SR level there. Range high. We've been rejected here. You could say like 5 times, and then here once again. Retest of this is an obvious buy, or breakout above is a buy. So a lot of coins look like this, and there's couple different ways to play them depending on if we pull back or if we have some continuation from here. I don't even know what near is, so I probably won't look at that one. But this would be my plan for Link. Nice, simple consolidation, retest the mid-range. Like the mid-range on this one's been super clean. Resistance all through here, resistance here. I'd expect that to hold as support if we retest it. What else did I say? Algo. So Algo's been going off. Where is this from? I'm just gonna clear my whole chart. I think the most obvious way to get on board would be if we get like a retest of this previous all-time high level, which we kind of have. A couple of wicks into there. But you can see we're like consistently making these higher lows right here. So people are just able to easily move their stops up without being pressured. And so I assume there's a lot of stop losses at each of these lows. So with Algo, if we get a dip into gray here, take out every single one of those lows, including right here, maybe dip into the origin of this move that broke through it. I think that could be a nice long setup. So that's what I would do for Algo. Hey Kaz, if you want to trade altcoins, do you take something into account or do you first look at Ethereum? We looked at Ethereum at the beginning of the stream and ETH BTC to kind of get a gauge of how we feel on the market. And the thesis was bullish on ETH BTC. So I do prefer, or I am interested in alts right now. Lastly, Atom. You guys always want coins that have ripped already. This was one of the cleanest charts though. Just this SR flip, accumulation down here, rip right through it. If you're not already on board, I don't know if you're gonna want to really chase this. but we can always look for some low time frame setups, and I would probably base those around Monday's range. All right. So, and this was nice resistance here. You can see this way, like just this whole section, this whole region, this consolidation. That's where what we would expect to hold as support. So something like that. There's the atom plan. All right. Okay. That was more charts than I usually look at in any given stream. I will say I think it was pretty solid. One sec, I'm just checking a few things. All right. NFTs, SolGen. Trading Puppy wants to hear about SolGen. So, SolGen was a drop that happened, like a week ago. They came into some drama because the artist used a tool that was free, but I don't know why. Like, he basically used an online tool to create these. It is what it is. Also, if you guys were here just tuning in for the TA, I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you listening. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your chart request. I can't do every single one. And I mean, we looked at 20 coins or something like that today. But I appreciate the support, and we will do more in the next stream. So thanks for coming by. We'll probably talk about some NFTs now. There are a couple new drops coming out in the next few days that I'm going to look to participate in. So still got that to talk about. And also, I appreciate all the new subs, because I think we got 160 subs this stream. So thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. So basically the SolGen team is buying up the floor, which is good to see. And every now and then it'll go below 1 to like 0.6, 0.5, and they're buying it up to 1. Basically shaking out all the weak hands, and those are essentially getting burnt because the team has said they're not going to sell them. So the supply is coming down for that. And I think if some of this drama passes with how the artist made them, things like that, which they're trying to make amends and do all that, I think some of these really cheap ones could end up paying dividends. Like if this gets to 0.5 SOL, I'm going to buy more, because I know the team is basically buying it up to 1 SOL right now. And then later, I'm sure they're going to try and move that floor up to like 1.5 and eventually get over 2, which was the mint price. So I'm underwater on these initial mints. It is what it is. Can't win them all. But I do still think there is a chance that there's some upside with this. And now, instead of minting for 2 SOL, if you want any exposure to this project, you can buy them at like 0.7. But I would just keep an eye on this, because if the floor drops to like 0.5, I think that's a pretty screaming deal, because like I said, the team is basically buying up the floor to 1 SOL right now. And I think that will continue to increase. So that's what we got with Digital Eyes. Galactic Geckos. I'm trying to not tweet about this one too much right now, because I really want to mint a bunch of these. It's a project that I can tell they're just like putting actual effort into. Everything's hand drawn. The website looks cool. It's not a low effort cash grab that we're kind of seeing a lot of. So I think the Galactic Geckos are cool. They've got like 4 different breeds or types, factions they call them. It says it's a upcoming NFT social club launching on Solana. Galactic Gecko NFT will act as your proof of membership, granting you access to the space garage, future drops, and camaraderie of your fellow geckos. They're 3 SOL a piece, launching on September 22nd, so still 8 days. And yeah, I think the art looks cool. They Galactic Gecko. I thought this was cool. You can like literally see some of the sketches that the artist did originally. So basically, I think it looks cool. I can tell that they're like actually putting some thought and effort into it and not just pumping something out as quick as they can to try and get fast money off the mint. So Galactic Geckos, something I'm keeping an eye on. Medieval Pixels. This one mints in 3 days, so this one's coming up soon, and they're pretty cheap. I mean, you can mint one of them for 0.05 Ethereum. So what's Ethereum at? 3,360. Oops. So $168 compared to a lot of other mints. That is fairly cheap. And then if you buy 4 of them, they cost 0.04. 3360. Right, 3360. That's where we're at. Yeah. If you buy 4 of them, then they are $134 a piece. If you mint 10 at a time, they're $100 a piece. So I'll probably mint 10 like twice. And the reason I think this one is cool, it's launching on Ethereum, obviously. Ethereum is their whole raid function, which is like, I think this is kind of what sets, it's basically the reason I'm interested in this project. Like, I think the art is cool. I'm not like completely obsessed with it, but I do think like there's a market for this type of art. Like, the pixels are cool and it's still pretty low key. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll definitely be minting some, and the raid feature is definitely what makes me the most interested in it. So if we quickly scan through this, basically every week or every other week, depending on how much volume there is, they're taking 3% of the total commission from every sale. So like on OpenSea, if anything sells, the artist gets commission, and they're going to take 3% of that, set it aside, and they're going to raid a different NFT project, like buying pieces off the floor, and then give them away. Oh yeah, they'll have 3 projects posted on Monday, so the Discord members can vote on what one you want to raid, and then they'll raid on Friday, and just sweep the floor and then give away everything they bought. So basically it's a way for people who hold these to maybe like make money from it, from giveaways, and they'll be doing them all the time. So I think that's kind of cool, and I like how they're splitting it up by rarity too. So everyone's gonna have a rarity. Like the more rare stuff is worth more raid tickets, they call them. So common pixel worth 1. The number of raid tickets depends on the rarity. There's no limit. So basically, the more you have, the better chance of winning an airdrop, and they're doing them weekly. So kind of a cool idea. And then also, like, I don't know, it's good for optics if they're just buying up the floor of a bunch of other projects, you know? Because then people from those projects will be like, oh, shout out to the Medieval Pixels people for raising the floor on our project. We're gonna go buy some of theirs. So I think that one's pretty cool, coming out in 3 days. So keeping an eye out. Infinites, I have one of these. I'm looking to buy another one. The floor is 3.35 Ethereum right now. Big fan of the artist, and pretty much interested in anything that he that he makes. So I mean, I don't have a ton to say about these, but I am looking to get a second one at some point. And then I want to buy one of these Monkey DAO guys, but Sol is down right now, like the Solana network, so it's not really working. Oh, we haven't talked about Apex yet, but we can do that. Oh, and I know some people wanted to talk about GB. Basically, now it's just hangout time in the stream. Kaiju cards, I have not heard about those ones yet. We did just talk about Solgen. So GB going up. Just turned into a wick. I'm still holding my GB, so we'll see what happens with it. I think Apex is a much better project, but since like all the Ava Labs guys are interested in this stuff, I think it could still get a good pump at some point. I use Phantom Wallet. Thanks for the stream. Been working all night, so gotta get some sleep before another night. Appreciate you taking the time to do this. No problem, Dougie. Thanks for tuning in, man. Solamanders. I don't know. Let's look at them. Are they on Digitalize? Solamanders. I don't love the look of them, but I mean, I could also just be an idiot, so I don't really know like about the project or what they're doing. Solamander. I mean, if you like the art, then I would say get yourself one. I'm not super crazy about it. I don't know. I'm really hyped about the geckos, to be honest. AVAX coming down a little more. Would I be willing to do a challenge? Yeah, I might do one sometime. Nano? Not really. I don't think I've ever traded it. Probably missed a ton of stuff in the chat. Vlad, I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, buying strength does work sometimes, for sure. Cosmos 1 wants to talk about NFTs. Yeah, I think taking profit on DOT here is the move. Swept Monday's high and it's right at daily supply, so yeah. I think so. drop some trading psychology alpha. Let me think. I mean, I think the most important thing for trading in terms of psychology is kind of comes down to journaling, because I think what really gets people is like when they're losing trades, they think their like system doesn't work, but maybe they're just going through some drawdown or something like that. And so having data to back up your decisions, I think, can help so much with your psychology, because then it's like you have your concrete proof right in front of you that what you're doing is working or works. So you kind of just have to trust the system. Your TA looks so clean. How long have you been trading? Like 4.5 years now. How is Sol down for so long? Like the ecosystem. I don't get that. Like, what's going on? It's kind of strange. My wife is a year. No, she's like 10 months younger than me. 8 months, a year, something like that. She is happy with what I do for a living. She thinks it's pretty cool, and she likes the money, to be honest. I'll send you 500 when you do a challenge, 50-50. If Rectproof accepted my 500 when he did his, then I would be more inclined to accept someone else's, but because he didn't, you know, it's tough. I had that other range on Luna, which made it look a lot more bullish, and now this range makes it look more bearish. Like, changing it to here makes it look like, oh, it's holding the range high perfectly. But when you have it here on this high instead of this high, it's like, oh, we're getting rejected from it. It's being tricky. You bet she does. Anything I wish I knew earlier? Yeah, I wish I started journaling earlier, because that's when I feel like because when I started like journaling religiously, I guess you could say, is when my trading kind of like went to the next level. So I wish I was journaling from the get-go. How did I learn to trade? Honestly, I learned from some people on Twitter, and then a whole lot of trial and error. There were no books that really helped me. I think it's hard to learn trading from a book. I think it's better to like do it, like just get experience doing it actively. Charting, journaling. How did I learn TA? Trader SZ was one of my like mentors, I guess, for ranges. I use a lot of ICT concepts that I kind of learned that were passed down. Basic SR. I think if you're a beginner, some of Crypto Cred's YouTube videos are one of the best places to start. And then other things are just things that I've kind of like developed. That not saying they were my original ideas, but just things that I've like noticed that work, and then did more research about them and testing and things like that. I think trading's I don't know. You kind of just need to. It's just a lot of trial and error, which obviously people don't want to hear because you want to know the like easy route. But yeah, quite a bit of trial and error. AVAX needs to bounce for my AVAX coins to be very bullish. How do I journal exactly? I did a whole stream about it. How do I do well, I'll just do it over here. Advanced Twitter search. We did like a deep dive into journaling on one of the streams. Journaling. Alright, I think it was this one. There you go. Oh yeah, we do like the AVAX apes. Let me pull that over. My apes. What? Hold on. Let me connect my wallet. I got a couple apes. I think I bought 2 of them. What the heck? I'm connected. Oh, there we go. I was on the wrong chain. So yeah, I like the AVAX apes. I think they're pretty cool, and I think they're like the project for the AVAX ecosystem. So I bought this one off the floor because I thought he was a nice, classy gentleman. And then this was this green background is like 1 step below Mystic, so it's kind of rare. And he was also, 30 was around the floor for that too. Maybe it was a couple AVAX above, but I just liked the way he looked. I think the floor is like 12, down to 10. Maybe I'll buy a couple more. Some people are just weak hands. Dang, did I get mine at 14? Oh well. Let's see what the rare, so like this lighter green is like tier 7, I think it's called, and then the dark green is tier 8. So the dark green is a little more rare. Okay, so the floor for the dark green is 23 right now. NFTs are just pulling back a little bit, which like it is what it is. I didn't buy mine to make like a quick flip, so I'm not really worried about it. I just think they look cool, and if AVAX continues to grow in the way that I think it can, then I think these apes could end up having a bit of value. So, kind of sounds stoned this stream. I don't smoke actually, or do any drugs, so maybe I'm just tired. Axolotls? I don't think so. Where are they? I can look them up on Axolotl. Are they like little somethings? OpenSea. What did these mint at? This is a very low floor price. They are verified though, so that's a step in the right direction. There were rare ones. Oh, they have some space ones. Sold for a few ETH. I haven't seen these before. I guess it's hard to do like NFT requests or something like that on a stream because it's like, I don't know. I feel like a decent amount goes into like digging into a project. but I just want AVAX to pump, to be honest. Because then my AVAX coins can go up too. And that's what we want. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just hard to give like a full rundown on what I think about them, like on a first glance, you know. Lit Jesus, I've not heard of those either. IREX stock, you know what? I don't trade stocks, but just for fun, let's look at it. Just for the heck of it. Oh boy. Wow. Stocks have so much price history. Bro, this is in a... This thing is in a 25-year range. That's so crazy. Yeah, it's hard for me to give an opinion on this, to be honest. It feels just so much more different than crypto. What's the 8 money looking like? Please pump AVAX. I'm trying, bro. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the coin itself. I think they're still just going through this lawsuit things. I'm not really doing anything with the coin. As far as... I think they were having some trouble with their login portal, and they're working on fixing it. But yeah, with all the lawsuit pressing charges on that guy for stealing money, I think they're trying to get that out of the way, and then we'll really make sure they're vamping things back up with other stuff. Apex, I think Apex is fine. I mean, look, if you look at Apex right now, right, and obviously this is going to have like big swings. It's a smaller cap coin. The volatility is going to be high. So look at this. Doesn't this look kind of similar to you? We got this. Now it's coming down to look to make a higher low. They move together. This is just like leveraged because it is a small cap coin, so it moves a lot. So it might come down a little bit more, but then I'm very confident this is just making a higher low. So if you don't have any yet, buying in this general region, I don't think it's a bad idea. It was looking really good after this like consolidation, and then we just break out right out of it above all-time highs, but then the entire market took a hit and everything was just bleeding down. So there's just like not much you can do about that. But fundamentally, I'm still very bullish on Apex. I know the biggest concern when you're trading a coin that's 20 mil, 15 mil market cap is that the team is going to rug. But I know the team for this, so I know they're not going to rug. And then the coolest part, I tweeted about this today. Nope, read the blog post. Oh. Which one was it? Okay. I've been in Apex for 2.5 weeks, and my entire stack is up 6%. So like, not like my USD value is up way more than that. I'm saying the actual Apex that I hold, I have 6% more and I haven't bought any. I have 6% more Apex than I started with and I haven't bought any. Because of the liquidity, or because of the frictionless yield. So anytime there's a transaction, any volume, 4% gets paid out to the holders. And you don't have to farm it, you don't have to stake it, you don't have to claim it, it just automatically shows up in your wallet. So, I mean, I don't care if this, I mean, obviously, like, I want to print new all-time highs, but I don't care if we just do this for like a couple weeks if the market chills out. Because with volume, as long as people are buying and selling it, and if you hold it, you're just going to get more. Wait, Apex has fundamental. It is a meme coin, but there you go. Their Ponzi-nomics are actually like pretty smart. Like it costs a lot to transact in and out because 5% goes to liquidity and 4% goes to the holders. But if you are a holder and you're literally just holding it, you're making more. And this thing is gonna pump if AVAX grows. Like if we look at this. All right, right now AVAX has 2.7 billion in liquidity, and they're above 3 billion in total value locked. Like as the AVAX ecosystem grows, Apex is gonna grow too. It is the meme coin of the platform, but a meme coin that like actually has good stuff to it, the tokenomics. And yeah, they're still burning supply. So right now there's 4.8 trillion in supply. They've already burnt 5.1. So they burnt 5 trillion like immediately, and since then they've burnt 152 billion. So supply is going down, holders are getting paid. You know, it just makes sense for it to go up. It might not happen instantly or right away when people wanted it, but if you hold it, you're gonna be rewarded for that. And they just announced the Bored Ape Yacht Club giveaway, and they're announcing more details for that soon. But if you don't think that is gonna raise a ton of hype, I think you're crazy. So once exactly, Hector, your balance just grows. So imagine being in it for months. Like you could double your initial investment in terms of Apex tokens. And then let's say, like, I think this could turn into a blip on the chart. Let's say we go up here and then we're just consolidating here. Then all of a sudden, you've like 3x'd the AVAX and USD value of your holdings, and if it just consolidates for a while, you're also just getting more Apex tokens. So your gains can compound so much. Soul popped? No. We almost got it, boys. I wasn't even watching it though. Is the network like back on or something? Let's see if anything has changed here. If these show up, then I think it means the Soul network is back up. They're not on there yet. 0.7 still. Anyway, that's the idea for Apex. And there, I just sent a full buying guide. So Vishesh, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. What separates it from SafeMoon? I don't remember all the exacts of SafeMoon's tokenomics, Ponzi-nomics, but it's a similar idea, I would say. But yeah, built on AVAX. And so it's a bet that the AVAX ecosystem grows, and with that, so will Apex. So the TLDR is get passive income while you hold a 15 mil market cap coin with insane upside, knowing that the team won't rug. I'd say that's the TLDR. And if you just rewind like a couple minutes, you can see. And then there's the buying guide. No problem. What's up, Gabe? All right, we're about an hour and a half in. I think I'm gonna call it here. You guys know what to look out for. I honestly might chill and not do a ton until a little more price action plays out. But we've talked about the plans. I'd say they're pretty clear. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Stream again on Thursday, I think. And I think the Pixel drop is the soonest one. That's on the 17th. How do we know the team won't rug? Because I know them. Like, I know people who are on it. So, I mean, like, that's where I get my confidence in it. And I have put a lot of money into Apex. I'm not going to say how much because I don't want to dox my wallet. But I, without a doubt, have my money where my mouth is. So, all right, stream on Thursday, and we'll talk about the pixels again then, probably, because it'll be one day before the mint, and I mean they're pretty cheap, so might as well mint some. I think once more people learn about the raid feature, it could really get popular. So, we'll see what happens. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We hit crazy viewer numbers and also subs today, so really appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.